value of the property, the value of the policy to that $2 million amount, which the property is now worth. It really doesn't do that, and I'll explain to you why. The market value rider only covers the increase in the property value that was occasioned by market conditions. So it was a time of booming real estate, and the property went from $500,000 to $2 million. Yes, you're really truly going to now have $2 million in coverage. However, what is not included is in that run-up of the price is any run-up in the price that was occasioned by improvements you made to the property. So you bought the property for $500,000, and immediately you gutted the kitchen, and you finished the basement, and you put a pool in the backyard, and you really spent a lot of money and really made it beautiful. Let's just say you spent $400,000 to improve the property. That $400,000 is going to get backed out of the market value. So now you're down to, say, 1.6 valuation. But it's really even more than that, because there's now going to be an argument between our appraiser, your appraiser, right? I'm talking about if there's a claim, as to how much that $400,000 actually increased the value of the property. We might say, well, you spent $400,000, but that increased the property $800,000. And you might say, no, I spent $400,000 and it really only increased the property $200,000. A little back and forth, push and shove. Appraisers making different appraisals and each putting their own 2 cents in on it. But the bottom line is that you need to understand is you're not really going to get the full run-up of the market value, unless, of course, you made no improvements and it was purely occasioned by a run-up in values and market values. Having said all this, I will tell you that I sell in the title insurance business. I issue market value riders in very, 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 very limited circumstances. I'm going to say less than 1% of the time. 99 point some odd percent of the time, I do not sell market value riders. And in fact, I don't even recommend to my clients that they get them. Why? And why is that? The feeling is, and I've taught this class live, the class that I'm teaching now, I've taught live many, many times. And I always, when I do so, ask for a show of hands of how many people in the room have either regularly purchased a market value rider or have even ever purchased a market value rider. And I'd say it's almost, I think maybe 1 or 2 times somebody said they regularly do it, and we'll talk about why this guy says he does. But most people say they've either never purchased a market value rider for their client, or they've done it in very, very, very rare and limited circumstances that were very fact specific to whatever was going on with the particular property in the transaction. And why is that? The reason is that I think most attorneys feel, correctly by the way, I happen to agree with them, is that the market value rider is a bit of a sucker's bet. And I don't mean that we as an industry sell it as a sucker's bet, but it really isn't as valuable as it sounds. Yes, it only adds 10% to the premium, but the truth is, the odds of you having a claim or your client having a claim first of all, the odds of your client having a claim at all is very, very low. There aren't as many, relative to the amount of title insurance policies that are out there, there really aren't that many claims. Certainly we've had more claims that came out of the debacle of the real estate boom of 05, 6, 7, 8. Hopefully those numbers are and will continue to go down. But just generally there aren't as many claims as you would think there would be. Number one. Number two, the odds of you having a claim for the full value of the policy, a complete loss as we talk about the long lost brother scenario where we've got to throw in the full $500,000 policy is even slimmer. So if you take those, slim and slimmer, some small infinitesimal number, and then a smaller percentage of that number, you come up with a determination that the odds of you having a claim or your client